I'm 32M.
3 days ago, I had the worst family dinner of my life. I'm still processing it, mostly just exhausted. For context, I'd been with my fiancée, 30F, for 2 years, engaged for 6 months, wedding planned for next spring. Things were good until wedding planning started, and a very different version of her appeared. My parents are blue-collar. My dad's a mechanic who owns his own shop. My mom was a teacher and retired last year. They're modest, responsible people who worked hard, paid off their home, and helped me through community college before I transferred to finish my engineering degree. I now make around $110,000 as a project manager. Her parents are the opposite. Her dad is a regional VP at a pharmaceutical company. Her mom hasn't worked in decades. They live the country club lifestyle. A bit pretentious, but until now tolerable. The dinner was supposed to be an opportunity for both families to meet and discuss wedding details. We met at a nice but not extravagant Italian place downtown. Everything was fine until her mother brought up the rehearsal dinner. She wanted it at their country club ballroom, cost about $15,000. My dad nearly choked. Her dad went on about how it's not just dinner, it's an experience, and how social expectations matter. My parents stayed polite, stating our budget was $5,000. My fiancé cut my mom off and basically said we couldn't have a rehearsal dinner at some budget venue because her colleagues and friends would be there. Then her mom muttered, loud enough for everyone, that different classes have different standards. I saw my mom's face fall. My dad clenched his jaw. Then my fiancé said the line that destroyed everything. Well, maybe if some people didn't spend their lives in low-class jobs, they'd understand how proper weddings work. You can't expect trash to understand elegance. She literally called my parents low-class trash. The table went silent. My mom looked like she'd been slapped. My dad stared at his plate with shaking hands. I said one word, interesting, while she kept talking, somehow not realizing what she'd done. I pulled out my phone and canceled the pending $5,000 check I'd written for her parents' anniversary cruise, which she'd asked me to pay for. Then I told the table, there won't be a rehearsal dinner. In fact, there won't be a wedding. We're done. I paid for my parents' meals, told her parents the cruise was now their responsibility, and walked out with my mom and dad. I haven't returned to the apartment we shared. In the days that followed, everything exploded. She and her family harassed me nonstop. Her mother even showed up at my office screaming. I canceled the wedding venue myself, taking a $2,500 loss, because she tried to cancel it first out of spite. She emailed me a long rant about misunderstandings and stress without apologizing once. I replied, you meant every word. We're done. At the apartment retrieval, she and her mother tried to keep my grandmother's vintage ring hostage. I told them I'd take them to court. Her sister finally convinced her to return it. She literally threw it at me. She tried to force me to keep paying rent on the apartment. I reminded her that if I'm on the lease, I can legally show up anytime. She paid me $3,600 to sign off. I accepted. She demanded I pay for half the lost wedding deposits. I refused. My lawyer friend confirmed she caused the breach, not me. Then she tried to show up at my parents' house claiming to apologize. My dad asked her directly if she actually meant what she said. She danced around it. My dad told her to leave. Her dad later tried to guilt-trip me about their finances and how I humiliated their family. I told him his daughter humiliated mine and that the consequences were on them. In the weeks after, she tried every tactic. Flying monkeys, manipulative apologies, threats, give me another chance, even flowers for my parents. My dad tossed them in the compost bin. I closed our joint wedding account. I'd put in $6,000. She'd put in $2,200. I withdrew my $6,000 and let her keep her $2,200. She tried to threaten legal action over that too. Nothing came of it. In the social circle, once people heard the exact words she used about my parents, almost everyone sided with me. Several people admitted she'd said classist things for years. My parents thanked me, which hurt because they shouldn't have had to. My mom confessed she always felt judged by my ex's family. My dad admitted he never trusted her. The more distance I get, the more I see how many red flags I ignored. Her comments, her elitism, the subtle digs at working-class people. I chalked them up to stress. Turns out, stress didn't change her. It revealed her. I'm now living in a small studio closer to work. It's peaceful. No judgment. No tension. No pretending I like pretentious brunches or wine tastings. I'm reconnecting with who I actually am. I'm not fully healed yet, but I'm better. My therapist said something that stuck with me. People show their true character once they feel secure. The mask slipped before the vows. You got lucky. She wants another chance. I'm not giving one. Because here's what I learned. You can't marry someone who doesn't respect your family. Not tolerate, respect. My parents are good, hardworking people. If someone thinks they're trash, then they think I am, too. I walked away from a wedding, a relationship, and about $14,000. Best money I ever spent. Day one after the dinner, I stayed at my parents' house. My mom kept trying to excuse what my ex said. Maybe she was stressed. Wedding planning is hard. I had to remind her, Mom, she called you trash. My dad stayed quiet, but I later caught him Googling how to cancel wedding venues. That hurt and helped at the same time. My phone was constantly buzzing. My ex, her parents, her sister. I blocked all of them. Day two. The wedding venue called. Someone tried to cancel using my name. Not me. She wanted to beat me to it out of spite. I called back and officially canceled. Lost the $2,500 deposit. Worth it. She emailed me a long, dramatic 12-paragraph message about how I was throwing away our future over one misunderstanding. Not a single actual apology. My entire reply was one line. You meant every word. We're done. Day three. Her mother showed up at my job, causing a scene in the lobby. How could you do this to us? Do you know how humiliated we are? Me. More or less humiliated than my parents felt when your daughter called them trash? She demanded I reimburse the cruise. I told her, count it as a lesson in not spending money before the check clears. She threatened to sue. I told her to go ahead. Gifts aren't contracts. Security escorted her out. My boss asked if I was okay, then said, good for you. Nobody disrespects your parents. Day four, the ring. The engagement ring was my grandmother's 1950s vintage ring, sentimental, not extremely valuable. Her sister texted saying I could pick up my things between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I arrived at 10:15 with my dad and best friend. Of course, she wasn't gone. She was there with her mom, her sister, and two of her friends. She tried to force a talk. I ignored it and started packing. Her mom, what about the ring? Me, what about it? It's a conditional gift. No wedding, no ring. My ex crossed her arms. Maybe I'll keep it. Compensation for emotional distress. My dad stepped up. That ring belonged to my mother. Give it back. Her mom. Good luck proving it in court. Me. Perfect. I'll see you in court then. I'll spend more in lawyer fees than the ring's worth just to make sure you have to hire one too. Her sister finally stepped in. Just give him the ring. This is stupid. My ex stomped off, came back, and threw the ring at me. Her. Hope you're happy. Me. Happier than I'd be married to you. We left with my stuff. My dad told me he was proud of me on the drive back. That hit harder than anything else. Day 5 to 7, the lease mess. We shared a $1,800 apartment, split evenly. She texted insisting I continue paying my $900 half until the lease ended in 4 months. Technically, she was right. Legally, we were both responsible. But my lawyer friend said, if you're both on the lease, you have full rights to live there too. So I texted her back, you're right. I'll start coming by daily since it's my home too. She flipped out. Next day, she offered to take over rent if I signed off the lease. I told her, $3,600, the remaining 4 months, upfront. She called it extortion. I told her to expect me every morning at 7 a.m. She paid the $3,600. Wedding vendor deposits. We'd put down almost $10,000 in deposits. Her spreadsheet said I owed her $4,900. I told her, You caused the cancellation. You pay for it. She threatened to sue. My lawyer friend said she'd lose. She dropped it. Mutual friends, we had a group of 8 couples as friends. She told everyone I abandoned her over nothing. I told people exactly what she said at dinner. 6 couples took my side. One friend even messaged, "Not surprised. She said stuff like that before." Apparently she had a pattern of classist comments. Good to know I wasn't imagining it. The fake apology. About 10 days in, she showed up at my parents' house claiming she wanted to apologize. My mom, too kind for her own good, let her in. Her, "I'm so sorry. What I said was terrible." Me, "Apologize to them, not me." She turned to my parents. "I'm sorry if I offended you." My dad, "You called us low-class trash. Either you meant it or you didn't." She dodged, claimed stress. My dad shut her down. "Stress doesn't make you invent insults. It reveals what you really think." He told her to leave. She left crying. My mom felt bad. My dad didn't. Joint account. We had $8,200 in the shared wedding account. I contributed $6,000. She contributed $2,200. Legally, it's 50-50. Morally, no. I withdrew my $6,000 and left her $2,200. She blew up, threatened lawyers again. Nothing happened. Her dad's final attempt. 3 weeks out, he asked to meet. Looked exhausted. He said this all went too far. That his daughter was a mess, and I'd humiliated their family. I told him, "Your wife and daughter humiliated mine first." He accused me of being vindictive. I said it wasn't vindictive, it was self-respect. He left angry. I finished my coffee in peace. Where I am now, my studio is small but peaceful. I'm reconnecting with who I actually am, instead of who I pretended to be to fit into her world. I'm in therapy, learning why I ignored the red flags. The big one. Stress doesn't create character. It reveals it. I learned that the version of her I loved was the mask. The real one came out at that dinner. She tried to get a second chance. I didn't give her one. Because here's the bottom line. If someone disrespects your family, they don't respect you. Not really. Not at the core. Walking away cost me around $14,000. Best money I ever spent. Week 2. The flying monkeys phase began. Her extended family, co-workers, random acquaintances, all messaging me about how I was ruining her life and overreacting. I sent everyone the same message. She called my parents low-class trash at a family dinner. If you think that's acceptable, we have nothing to discuss. Most people backed off. A few pushed the everyone makes mistakes angle. I asked them one question. Would you marry someone who called your parents trash? Not one person responded. Her mother tried again to get money out of me. She had a lawyer friend send a demand letter about the cruise. My lawyer friend responded in 2 sentences explaining she had no legal claim. Never heard from them again. Week 3. Apartment fully done. She moved out at the end of the month. She had to get a roommate because she couldn't afford the place alone. Apparently downgraded significantly. Not my concern. The ring is safely back in my family. I let my mom hold onto it. Maybe someday I'll give it to someone who actually respects my family. Maybe I'll keep it as a reminder. Either way, it's not on someone who thinks we're beneath her. Financially, I took some losses. $2,500 wedding venue deposit, about $3,000 in photographer/caterer deposits, other small fees, but I reclaimed my $6,000 from the joint account and got $3,600 from her for the lease. Net loss, about $2,000. Worth every cent. Social aftermath word spread among our mutual friends. Once people heard the actual quote, low-class trash, most took my side or quietly backed away from her. Anyone who tried to stay neutral honestly felt like they were taking her side. I let those friendships fade. Multiple people came forward with stories. A college friend said she refused to attend her wedding because the venue was too basic. A coworker said she frequently made snobby comments about unrefined clients. A cousin said she had been insufferable since getting engaged, talking about how she was marrying up. So yeah, I didn't dodge a bullet. I dodged an entire missile. My parents keep thanking me. Which hurts. They shouldn't have to thank me for defending them. My mom admitted she always felt judged by my ex's family but tried to ignore it. My dad finally said he never trusted her but didn't want to interfere. I told them I should have listened to my gut sooner. There were signs. Small comments, tiny digs, subtle snobbish remarks, and I brushed them off as stress. But the truth is, stress doesn't create a person's character. It exposes it. We had dinner together last week. Just my parents and me. Dad grilled. Mom made her famous potato salad. We sat on the back deck and talked about normal life instead of relationship drama. Felt peaceful, like exhaling after holding my breath for months. Emotional reality. I'm not going to pretend I'm fully healed. I loved who I thought she was. I pictured a future with her, kids, a house, a life together. Some nights I question myself. Then I remember my mom's face when she heard the word trash, and the doubt evaporates. Do I miss her? Sometimes. But only the version of her that never really existed. The mask version. The real her showed up at that dinner. I'm in therapy now, not because I'm devastated, but because I want to understand why I ignored the red flags and why I downplayed the comments that bothered me. My therapist said something that stuck with me. People keep their mask on until they feel they've secured the commitment. You saw the real her just in time. That hit hard. Attempts at reconciliation, yes. She tried multiple times to get me back. Week 2. A long email about how she's changed. Week 3. She showed up at my office again. Security had to remove her. She even sent flowers to my parents with a card begging forgiveness. My mom felt bad. My dad threw the flowers straight into the compost bin. Her sister texted saying I should give her another chance. My dad finally said he never trusted her but didn't want to interfere. I told them I should have listened to my gut sooner. There were signs. Small comments, tiny digs, subtle snobbish remarks, and I brushed them off as stress. But the truth is, stress doesn't create a person's character. It exposes it. We had dinner together last week. Just my parents and me. Dad grilled. Mom made her famous potato salad. We sat on the back deck and talked about normal life instead of relationship drama. Felt peaceful, like exhaling after holding my breath for months. Emotional reality. I'm not going to pretend I'm fully healed. I loved who I thought she was. I pictured a future with her, kids, a house, a life together. Some nights I question myself. Then I remember my mom's face when she heard the word trash, and the doubt evaporates. Do I miss her? Sometimes. But only the version of her that never really existed. The mask version. The real her showed up at that dinner. I'm in therapy now, not because I'm devastated, but because I want to understand why I ignored the red flags and why I downplayed the comments that bothered me. My therapist said something that stuck with me. People keep their mask on until they feel they've secured the commitment. You saw the real her just in time. That hit hard. Attempts at reconciliation, yes. She tried multiple times to get me back. Week 2. A long email about how she's changed. Week 3. She showed up at my office again. Security had to remove her. She even sent flowers to my parents with a card begging forgiveness. My mom felt bad. My dad threw the flowers straight into the compost bin. Her sister texted saying I should give her another chance. I told her, she doesn't deserve another chance. She deserves the consequences she got. Simple as that. The truth I learned. Here's the lesson. If someone disrespects your family, that is the biggest red flag imaginable. It's not a small slip. It's not fixable with excuses. It's not stress. It is a clear sign of who they truly are. My parents worked hard, sacrificed, gave me everything they could. They're good people. Anyone who looks down on them is someone I will never stand beside at an altar. She didn't lose me because of money, or stress, or a fight. She lost me because she showed me exactly who she was. Where I am now, I'm living in a small studio close to work. It's quiet. It's peaceful. It's mine. No walking on eggshells. No wondering if my partner secretly looks down on the people who raised me. I'm rediscovering my own preferences. I don't like country clubs. I don't like pretentious brunches. I don't like wine-tasting tour groups. I like dive bars, greasy diners, and baseball games. And that's perfectly fine. My job is good. Coworkers have been supportive. Turns out a lot of people have lived through similar situations. Dating? Not yet. Right now I'm decompressing and remembering who I actually am. Final words if someone out there needs to hear this. If your partner disrespects your family, that is relationship ending. No matter the stress, no matter the years spent together, no matter the wedding plans, respect isn't optional. My breakup cost me around $14,100 total. Best money I ever spent.